Welcome back to the Gloves Are Offside, where we talk football, we talk boxing, and wow, what a weekend it has been in the Premier League. We're going to jump straight into it because I want to talk about Mohamed Salah. I've been looking forward to having this conversation with you boys. Let me just tell you what my opinion is on the situation, on his outburst, on his statement, whatever you want to call it. I just want to start by saying, no uncertain terms, yeah, Mohamed Salah is a Liverpool legend, yeah? He's an icon, Premier League icon, some would say. Last season, best player in the league by a mile, won them the title, possibly best player in Europe. A lot of people are saying. Now he's come out with this. They throw me under the bus. I'm a victim kind of mentality, which I just can't get my head around it. When I was watching his words saying, honestly, my jaw dropped. I think like the whole time he's been in the Premier League, he's been idolized by their fans. And even in terms of the broader media and other fans, all I ever hear is, yeah, if you're picking all-time Premier League 11s, Salah's got to be in there. He's as good as Henry, or the best thing since Henry and all this. So I don't get where this victim mentality's come from just because he's been dropped for the first time in his Liverpool career. On a slot, he's saying now the relationship's broken down. He wasn't saying that 3 weeks ago when he was in the team. So is it just because he's not being picked? He's just turned on the manager now? This is a time where Liverpool, for me, I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I can't tell them how to feel. But for me, if it was one of my players, I want you to put your head down, pull your socks up. You're the icon, you're the talisman. Get us out of this mess. Don't just run into the press and throwing your toys out the pram like some petulant child. I think it stinks personally. I don't know if you boys agree with me or if you think I'm being a bit too hard. But for me, I would be horrified if I was a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, 100%. Look, at the end of the day, no player is bigger than the club, in my opinion, whether you play for Scunthorpe, whether you play for Liverpool. As you said, I didn't hear any of this noise when he was in the team. And it's the first time he's been dropped and kind of been left out for a long time. I don't think it does the club any favours. Some people are saying, he has a right to speak out for what he's done for them. But at the end of the day, you've got to pull your socks up and work hard and get back into the team. I don't think it's anything revolutionary in football for a player to be dropped. I think it should be a conversation that happens behind closed doors, knock on the manager's door and say, look what I've done for the club. And it's, look, I love players that, aren't just happy to sit there on the bench. They want to play, of course they do. But I just don't think it does Liverpool any favours, given their really bad run of form recently. So it's a really weird one for me. I don't think it does him any favours, doesn't do Slot any favours. And look, if he's saying that he's a breakdown in relationship with Arnie Slot, he hasn't helped it. I don't think he's going to be picked anytime soon.
I kind of I agree with some of the things you're saying, and I disagree with some of the things you're saying, both of you. In terms of, I just think that when it probably has been your greatest player, maybe one of Liverpool's greatest players ever, in terms of, like, you've won more than Steven Gerrard. He's got, I think he's their third top goal scorer of all time. I think the situation has to be managed better than it has been managed. I don't think that you can just drop your talismanic player for 3 games in a row against, like, kind of teams that you should be beating. If it was big games and that Liverpool were kind of going into these games where they were maybe playing a little bit different and they were going to be a bit more defensive, then I could kind of see it. I think you can't behave like Mohamed Salah. I don't agree with him, but I also think it has been badly managed by Arnie Slot. I don't think that Salah has been the problem at Liverpool this season. I think that it's been trying to fit maybe too many new players in and too many and maybe not thinking about their transfer policy correctly. And I think that's my kind of view on it. I think that it's been managed poorly on both sides. Arnie Slot was obviously saying a lot of stuff in the media, that everything was fine and that we still have a good relationship and he's working really hard, and I feel sad that he's not in the team. All sorts of stuff. If you go back and you look at the stuff he was saying, he was acting like everything was hunky-dory, and obviously everything wasn't hunky-dory. So I think that the situation has not been managed by Slot, maybe by the director of football, has not been managed properly. Not to say that Salah's done the right thing, but I just think that it hasn't been managed by Liverpool well either.
We're obviously not privy to conversations that have gone on between them, so we don't know what's been said between them. But there wasn't any inkling of a breakdown in relationship. My point is, until he got dropped, and I just don't think any player has a God-given right to have to be in the starting lineup. He's got a squad of 23, 24 players, and he can choose whichever team he likes. Salah's got to have a look at himself. He was incredible last season. As I said, probably the best player in Europe. He's got his new contract, and I'm not going to say he's down tools. I'm sure he's a very prideful man. He takes his takes his profession very seriously, and I don't think he's down tools at all. But since he signed that contract, his performances have dropped. So he needs to take a look at himself rather than run into the media and he's talking about throwing under the bus. He's throwing them under the bus. He's throwing his manager under the bus. He's throwing the club under the bus. He's throwing the fans under the bus.
Yeah, look, Arne Slot doesn't have a contract at Liverpool that says he has to start Salah in every single game. Chuck, let me ask you this, yeah? You're saying he's been poorly managed, but it's a footballing decision, yeah? Look, I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but if Arne Slot also has the right to drop Salah, what did you think when Ronaldo did his interview on Piers Morgan about Man United? Obviously, you're a Man United fan. How did that make you feel? Your kind of
I mean,
star global player coming out and doing that?
It didn't make me feel good, but Ronaldo went after the whole club, which was a little bit different. And it didn't make me feel good, but it was a poorly managed position. That's not the club is not managing the situation very well. Like I thought that he shouldn't have done it. He really did. Like, he broke a lot of Man United fans' hearts. I was really upset, but you're not managing your players properly. If your players coming out and doing this, you're not managing them properly. And I'm not saying that what Salah's done is right. I'm just saying there's obviously a breakdown. There's obviously a breakdown between the manager and the player. And if you're gonna drop him, then you say to him, "Hey, like, things have not been working. I need to try something. I need to, like." You don't just drop him and don't give him the information.
But is this not a conversation that happens behind closed doors then? What does running to the media do?
It is a conversation, but that happens behind closed doors. But it doesn't seem like there was a conversation had with him. Because he's a star player who took you to the league last year.
Yeah, but then all this does is then create speculation amongst, look, we're sat here talking about it, and then it becomes,
I'm not saying that Salah's done the right thing. I'm just saying that, like, you can't exclude what's gone on the club side. Because whether you like what Salah's done, and I do not, to be very clear, but what I'm saying is that you can't look at this and be like Liverpool have done the right thing. Go.
The comparison I make with just on the Cristiano thing is he was more talking about the standards of the club have dropped since the first time he was there. He was not talking about the chef and the facilities and everything. He's just saying the club is not up to the standards that I expect. Salah, it's just all about me. It's all about me. It's, everybody's against me. Nobody likes me. I'm the scapegoat. They're throwing me under the bus. Harry Kane gets treated like this, and I get treated like. It's like, what are you talking about? Where's this come from? This has only come from because you're not in the team and your pride is hurt. And I get it. At the end of the day, he's a footballer. He's an artist. Musicians don't like you critiquing their art. Actors don't like critiquing their films. He doesn't like his performance has been critiqued, but he's got to have a word with himself because he's not been good enough this season.
I don't think he's been bad enough that he's the problem, though, Char.
He's one of the problems.
Yeah, but I think that there's a lot of problems, and the last 3 games, Slot has decided that he's taking Salah out of the team.
Yeah, and
it hasn't solved anything.
That's his prerogative. It hasn't solved anything. You're right.
It hasn't solved anything.
The results haven't improved. He should be turning up to training every day, showing Arne Slot why he needs to be back in the team.
But my point is,
performing on the training pitch. And like we say, if you want to have those conversations, have them behind closed doors. Obviously, we're not privy. Maybe that's happened. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. But I think it feels to me like because of the way the season's going, he's regretted signing that contract, and he's either angling to get Arne Slot the sack, or he's angling for a move to Saudi or wherever we'll take it now.
I just think I just think that I don't agree with what he's done, but I can understand some of the points. It has been made out that Salah is the problem. Who else have you taken out of the team?
He's got a squad of 24. They don't all start every game.
Yeah, but no. But who's been, like, over the last 3 games? Who's been the person who's been taken out of the team? It is Salah.
The big way, well, because Salah's the talisman, so it's going to make headlines that he's been taken out, of course.
Yeah, but
I'm sure he must have had a conversation with him.
Yeah, but my point is that he's been taken out of the team and things have not got better. He's also not even bringing him on. He's leaving him on the bench when they need to, like, it's like, my point is that I don't think he's right, but I can see that this is a bit weird. I drove us to the league last year, had an incredible season. Things are not going well overall, and it feels like he's been like he is being made a bit of a scapegoat.
It's like Kai says, you don't want a player to be dropped and they're just happy with it. You want them to have a reaction. You want them to be wanting to perform on the pitch. But I just think this is not the way to go about it.
I don't think it's the way to go about it.
it's the language he's used as well, thrown under the bus. Like it's this victim mentality. Your
Although, boys,
friend,
have you
your
seen
friend.
the video when he's talking to the media? The Liverpool press conference guy has just got his head in his
Yeah,
hands. He's
he's
like,
just
"Oh
yeah,
my
he knows
day."
he's working overtime. But
Uh,
like that's our opinion. But what do you think what's his end goal here? Does he want Slot out? Does he want to get out himself? Is he
I
just
think he's looking
venting?
to get Slot out. If he's coming out and saying, "Well, me and the manager don't have a relationship." I mean, how do you repair it if you're going public with it? I think it's hard for us to say. I don't want to put words in his mouth or anything, but he's either looking to get Slot out or he's looking for a move in January, as you said, Saudi, wherever. Look, he's a fantastic player. I just don't think he's handled it in the right way, and no matter what, I don't think one individual's bigger than the club. Personally, that's my opinion.
I
But
think he's
yeah,
trying to get
no idea.
Slot out. I agree. I think he's trying to. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think this is a smart move. To be very clear, I don't think this is what I would have done. But I think he is trying to get Slot out. And my opinion is that I think at the end of the season that maybe he ends up at Saudi now, but like I think at the end of the season that they're both not going to be there. I think that Slot will end up going at the end of the season, and I think he'll end up going at the end of the season. Slot is obviously like maybe he's lost the dressing room or he's losing the dressing room or there's divides but like the players are playing terrible like like and or maybe we have to look at the board and say that they haven't given Slot a centre back which he obviously needs, but like I'm looking at their performances and we're watching the games and Liverpool don't look good.
Yeah,
And Slot has to take
they're not
responsibility
improving.
for that, and I think that they both end up going. But I think he's angling for Slot to get sacked, which I don't think is going to happen.
But the upshot is he hasn't travelled to Milan for the Champions League game. He goes to not to Saudi, sorry, he goes to Africa for the AFCON soon.
15th,
Sorry, yeah,
goes
that's coming
15th.
up. That's coming up very soon. So they will have that natural break where he's not around the place anyway. And I guess they just see what he might be hoping that Slot's gone by then. By the time he's back, if not, maybe it's water on a bridge. Maybe they can have a conversation once he's back. I can't see them repairing it. I personally, if I had guns ahead, I think Salah probably leaves, goes to Saudi in January,
Do
and
you both
then
think he's
they
played
just
his
carry on with it.
last game for Liverpool?
I do, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I can't see if you're manager of Liverpool Football Club. I just think if a player's kind of undermined you like that, regardless of what's happening behind the scenes, I think you've got to say as a manager, you know what, you've played your last game. As Charlie said, he hasn't travelled. I think that's the last we'll see of Salah at Liverpool.
Well, I think he's still. Well, there's still there's the Brighton game before this. Before he goes to AFCON. So potentially there, but yeah, I think if it is the last time we see him in a Liverpool shirt, I think really sad that this is how it's crumbled. I think great player. I think probably top 10, one of the best ever attacking players in the Premiership.
100%.
And I think it's really sad to see him go out like this. And this is what if we go back to it. I don't want to rehash it too much, but you go back to it. You can't manage one of like your greatest superstars like this, and that's how I feel about it. And I hate Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't manage a player of this quality like this. You've got to like players have got egos. You know what these players are like. You should know what Mohamed Salah's like.
Again, we're rehashing it, but I just don't think that he got dropped for a few games. He wasn't out of the squad. Nobody came out and released statements saying he got dropped from the starting lineup for a few games. You just like you just take it
But
on the
you
chin and
obviously
work
haven't
hard.
managed it correctly. You haven't told him that. Oh, we're going to take you out for these next 3 games, and then you're going to go back in. What have you said? You obviously haven't said anything to him, or that's what it seems like. They haven't. Slot hasn't come out and said any. Like Slot's interview was like, "Oh, I'm just surprised by this." What do you mean you're surprised by this? Why didn't you have a conversation with him? Honest Slot hasn't said, "Oh, we sat down and we talked that I was going to take him out for a few games and try some different things." You've got to manage. You've got to be able to manage your players in the right way.
I understand like I said, he's the talisman, he's the superstar, but is it not a bit disrespectful to his teammate that's replaced him that he just thinks automatically I should start ahead of you?
Well, when you're as good as he is, and when you've been carrying the club
he's not
as
been
he
that good
has
this
been,
season. He's not been good this season.
yeah, but like we're talking about a player who's been carrying Liverpool for the past 9 years. You sit down and you have a conversation. You don't treat every player the same. Him and Van Dijk have been carrying Liverpool on their back. So you can't. His production is not like every other player. So you've got to talk to these players and you've got to manage the situation different. I just think it's bad man management from whether it's the Liverpool hierarchy or it's Slot. I think it's bad man management. I think that he's been insane. I'm not gonna like say that he's been correct, but I think let's not like say that Liverpool have done the right thing here. I think
Yeah,
they've done the right thing in
I think
terms of maybe go.
No, look, I don't want to do this topic to death. I don't. We can sit here for hours to do it. I think the kind of comments he's made are comments that you make once you've left Liverpool, and people ask you, "Oh, look, why did it come to an end?" And you can say, "Look, I don't feel like I had a relationship with Arne Slot, blah blah blah. I feel like I was left out." Then maybe you can make the comments. But whilst you're still contracted to the club, given their really bad form, I just don't think it was like whether Slot has promised him stuff or there's been a lack of conversation. I just don't think it's a smart move, and he should know better.
It just doesn't help, does it? The situation they're
Yeah.
in, it's not going to help. It's only going to hinder them. So he's not putting the club first, like he says he loves the club, or even the fans, whatever. He's not putting them first. He's putting himself first, and that's what it is. Stinks of just a bit. He's a bit selfish to me. It's
Bit
all about
childish, in my opinion.
That's the way I see it. But look, it remains to be. It's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it, obviously, to see what happens. I think that the natural thing with him going to Africa may settle it down, possibly. But we'll see what happens once he comes back from there. The game itself was Leeds 3, Liverpool 3. It's I'll tell you what, it's a brilliant week for Leeds United.
Yeah. I've been very critical of Falk and Leeds, and I still stick to the fact that I think they are going to get relegated. But he's had a great week. They should have nicked a point off City, go and batter Chelsea, and then they get a 3-3 draw with Liverpool. He's had a great week. They were 2-0 down as well to come back into that game. Yeah, I've got to tip my hat at them. That they were really good. Yeah, and they're showing up for the manager.
Yeah, like I've said many times, Leeds will get majority of their points at home. I think with the crowd under the lights, and especially in big games, that's where they can really turn on the form. Not good for my club, West Ham. Obviously, they're only a few points ahead of us, but yeah, I still think they'll go down. I just don't think they've got the quality to kind of sustain this kind of form for the whole season.
Yeah.
But they're doing all right at the moment, so you just got to say fair play.
Yeah, I mean we've all criticised Daniel Farke, but he's changed the system a bit. He's put two up front, and it seems to be working. So you have to give him his dues and tip your cap when it's there. Those three results will give them some confidence, but now they need to go and beat the teams that not they're expected to beat, but they're sort of in and around them to see if they can stay up. There's no problem.
What do you think about Dominic Calvert-Lewin for England? Sneaking in there, three
No
goals.
way. No way.
No.
Man. I don't want to hear any Calvert-Lewin England link whatsoever, man. No way.
No, not for me. Not for me. But the weekend began early kickoff at Villa Park. My boys suffered our second defeat of the season in heartbreaking fashion. It was gut wrenching, man. It was gut wrenching.
Go on, Chuck. Go on, mate.
I just want to say that we talked about it all week, and Villa showed up. I want to I'm sure you're going to get all your excuses in, but I want to say that Arsenal have got so many injuries, and the fact that they were and the week they've just had, and actually the way they played, Arsenal played front foot football. They could have played a different way. Arsenal actually played really well. Villa were just a better team on the day, and I think that Arsenal, they struggled in the first half with how Villa set up, and then essentially came back into it and played really well in the second half. And then it was just a really good game that anyone could have won, And I really enjoyed the game. Obviously, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I've got a bit of a feeling for Villa because of my dad. But it was just a really good game. Two teams really going at it, and I really enjoyed it. And I think on the basis of it, I've watched it again. I think that Villa were probably just the better team. But it was just a really great game and a really good showcase of the Premier League, and I really did enjoy it.
No, I'd agree. I said in the preview that I was actually worried about this game. I've not said that about any other game this season. Just one, we've been stung by Unai and Villa a few times. Got a bad record against them. And two, just the way Villa were playing. I knew they'd come at us. I knew it'd be a tight game. It's the sort of game I thought it'd be end to end. I just thought we may have too much for them. In the end, they had too much for us on the day. We do have a lot of injuries. We played that game with Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber in his right place. I'm not saying it will be a different game, but it could be a different game. But there's it's not excuses. We've got the squad. We've assembled this big talented squad for a reason. We couldn't get over the line. But it's our first defeat in 18 games. I can't be too disheartened, but it just felt like a big one because when you look at the league table now, when you look at the season as a whole, it feels like we're the most consistent team. We're the only team that's really got got our shit together basically, and everyone else is sort of inconsistent and dropping points everywhere. But yet we're only 2 points clear. And you look at it, and 2 points from City and 3 from Villa. It's like, wow, man, how have we got ourselves in this position where it's so tight? But look, it is what it is. It feels a little bit ominous with City just behind us, but hopefully we can get a few players back. We've got some Club Brugge in the week, so hopefully we can rest some players. Then we've got Wolves on the weekend. Should be able to rest some players again. Get a few of our Declan Rice and Timbers that have been playing so many minutes, get Saliba back, and hopefully go on a little bit of a run again. But yeah, it was a hard one to take. But you're right, they were just about the better team. I think both teams had chances to win it. First half they had us on the ropes. Second half we came on, we had them on the ropes. But it's like as soon as we scored, they turned it up a notch again, and then it was a bit end to end. We had no control over it. And then yeah, they got the goal and we didn't, and that's it. We just got to move on. But Villa, are they in the title race?
Yeah, well, look, I said to you the other week that I thought your result against Chelsea away was 2 points dropped, but had you left 1-1 and got a point, I would have actually said, you know what, that's a good point. Yes, I think if you're in a title race, you got to, whether or not you like it, you got to be looking at winning these games. But when you think of it, you know, you played an inform at the time Chelsea team, unlucky not to get anything from it, and then you had Villa away. If you get a point away from both of them, it's not bad in the grand scheme of things. But I think you just opened up the floodgates for City now. You're only 2 points ahead. And as you said, the games are coming thick and fast now, and you know you just got to hope you've got to try and put other teams away. Yeah, look, Villa are a fantastic team. I've always rated Emery. Don't know if don't know about title race. I know they're third at the moment.
Yeah, 3 points behind us.
Yeah. I mean, they started off not that great, and then November they just went on a mad run, innit? But I really like Villa. I think I like the way they played. They got some really good players. Not sure about title race. I don't think they got enough, and plus they're in Europe as well. I don't know how that's going to affect them. Yeah, massive blow for Arsenal, man.
I think that they're the form team in the league. I think that exactly as you say, Kai. I think if Arsenal get the point, I was saying to the boys, George and Char, that they were looking a bit disheartened towards the end of the game, and it was going to be a draw. And I was saying to him, you take the draw here all day long, and then it's the last minute goal, which was a bit gut wrenching. But I think they're not in the title race. They haven't got the squad. And they look good in spells in all of the seasons under Emery. And then it kind of catches up with them that they don't have the players to come in and sustain it. Last year they really should have been in the top 4, top 5. They were really good last year. And
then... from an Arsenal fan, take it from me, that's a pattern of Emery anyway. The seasons he was with us, he gets to the sort of the running, and then it kind of all goes wrong. I don't know why that is, but it happens with us. It's happened with a few of the teams he's managed. I don't think they've got enough to maintain it, but they played really well. The one thing I will say is the way that the fixtures are. We play Villa again in a few weeks. I think it's the 30th of December, so I'm looking for revenge, baby. I've got revenge on my mind because they've hurt us over the years, man. And he just seems to raise his game. Emi Martinez loves it as well. Just really, just annoying for me.
Do you want to talk about the West Ham game, Kai?
Yeah, man, I'm still fuming. I don't know if you boys have seen it.
I've seen it.
Mate,
it's bad.
Look, I'm just going to say this, if I can have the floor for a minute. There's 2 incidents with that goal that really annoy me, right? So the high foot on Mavropanos, if he goes down and makes a meal of it anywhere on the pitch, we get a free kick. What annoys me about the game today is because he hasn't gone down and he's played on, it's kind of like he's punished and West Ham are punished because he didn't go down and make a meal of it. So it's like the game kind of wants to not encourage, but it's a bit like, you get away with it if you go to the floor and start holding your face or whatever. And then the handball, mate, I've never seen such a blatant handball leading to a goal. I read the VAR report on it, and they said because the handball that he did then led to a shot that was saved, it doesn't count as the first passage of play. Mate, Charlie,
it's ridiculous. So what they're saying basically is if Areola lets it in, you can disallow it because he saved the shot.
So if Areola notices that it was a handball and he purposely dives out the way, we get a free.
It's ridiculous. By the letter of the law, the goal has to stand. But the law is ridiculous. These handball it's just like, come on, a bit of common sense. It's a blatant handball.
Because it's in the second phase, right?
Yeah.
It's not the
It's the second phase, but it's he saved that, it's rebounded, and he's put it in. How is that a second? I understand it. It's the second phase.
It's the same player as well, though. I don't get it. It's the same player. How can it be a second passage of play? But look, I'm going to get annoyed if I keep talking about it. But I thought we played brilliantly. I thought it was a really good away performance. I think we soaked up the pressure when we did, and then we brought on Callum Wilson who got the assist, and Bowen got a goal, a really well taken goal, a goal that he's been needing. He hasn't scored in a couple of games, but I think he really needed that. And I think you'll find a lot of the England players, especially this side of the year, are going to start raising their game, looking to get into the World Cup squad. But man, I'm fuming. Like before the game, I would have snapped your hand off for a point. Brighton away is a difficult place to go, but the fact that we had that injustice with VAR and all of that is don't want to say 2 points dropped because that kind of sounds like we expect to win there. But yeah, it's a hard one to take, but a point's a point.
Yeah,
And we have
but
to keep going,
you're a
man.
few games unbeaten now as well, aren't you? You'd be picking up the odd point here
Yeah,
and
in
there
our
away
last
from home
six,
as
we've
well.
only
So
lost one,
yeah,
and that was to Liverpool at home. So the fact that we're still in the relegation zone and we're on this good run of form just shows what a terrible job Potter did at the beginning of the year. I mean, we conceded about 16 goals in 4 games or something, 5 games.
Yeah, but
I
this
think
is
if we,
what Nuno. This is
yeah,
what
go on, mate.
Nuno does. This is literally what he
Yeah,
does. He organises defence, and then in his next year, he starts to add in a bit of flair. He's just a good manager, and like,
mm,
I've got so much respect for him. We're looking at Tottenham, and the fans going mad at Thomas Frank, and they were going mad at Nuno when he won. He was manager of the month.
yeah,
He's playing boring football.
yeah,
You've got to build it up. What do you mean you don't come in? And this is why I can't with all of these managers. The Southampton manager last year, Emre, all these guys who want to come in and be like, this is how I play. No, sort your defence out, then make it hard to beat, and then you add in players and you start to change the style. I really rate Nuno. I think he's doing a good job. I think he's going to keep you boys up.
yeah, and that's what he's done for us. I think, like, as I said, we were leaking goals for fun under Potter. And he actually used to be a goalie in his career. So
Yeah,
there's no
under
coincidence
Jose.
that there's no coincidence that Areola's form has massively picked up now. Obviously, we brought Hermansen in as a goalie, and that he was just a disaster. Areola, to be fair, has come back and he's like a different man now. And as you said, look, he's kind of shored up the defense. We're a bit harder to score against. Look, we're still conceding goals, but we're not. Beginning of the season, 3-0 against Sunderland, 5-1 against Chelsea. Tottenham beat us 3-0 at home, lost to Palace. So yeah, I think he needs to get his own players in January. Hopefully we can get some. We've got Juve going to AFCON as well, which will be a big miss for us. But yeah, look, we're on a good run of form now. We've got Villa next, so I'm not sure how that will go, but they're playing midweek, so I think if we just kind of keep doing what we're doing, hopefully we can nick a point. But yeah,
Are you
look,
being linked
happy at
with
the
anyone,
moment, man.
Kai? Are you being linked with anyone? Because I thought that West Ham had no money to spend this January.
It's a weird one. David Sullivan keeps pleading poverty, but if you look at the financial kind of table, we haven't got any PSR kind of things against us. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I've seen whispers of Harvey Elliott again. We were linked with him in the summer. Mate, up again. I would love to have him in the squad.
Well, that's definitely fake. He can't play for. He played for Liverpool, so he can't play for 3 clubs in a year. So he definitely
Can he
can't
not?
come.
Oh, okay, right.
No. So he definitely can't come. I just from what I've read, and I checked West Ham a bit more because I know I'm going to be speaking to you about them.
Mm,
And from what I've read, that they're saying that there's not much to spend. Have to wait until the summer. That's what I've read anyway.
yeah. Look,
is
from
Fulcook on
what
his
I've
way
gone.
out? Is Fulcook
Yeah,
leaving?
yeah. Look, Fulgrim's in Germany. Like his mind's in Germany. It's a weird one because when we brought him in, he looked like a good talent. He's 31, but he played for Dortmund in the Champions League final, was scoring in the Euros for Germany, and I kind of thought on paper he looks okay, but again he's like a tall striker. We don't really play to we've had the likes of Haller, what's his name, Gianluca Scamacca, and we never got them kind of running in the team. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, but it just hasn't worked out. Like he was injured for most of last season, but he just doesn't look interested now. I think he'll be off in January. To answer your question, Chuck, I haven't seen anything concrete that will link with anyone. Look, under David Sullivan, we don't usually spend in January. I think if we get anyone in, it will be on a loan, and we'll hopefully spend it in the summer.
Is there any positions that you think like are really in dire need that you really need something? Well, if you had to, do you know what I mean? What position would you say?
If you'd have asked me this a month ago, I would have said centre back. But to be fair to Tadibo, look, I've been his biggest his biggest critic, but last 4 or 5 games, he's massively stepped
He
up.
has. I was going to say that. I've seen
Yeah,
him. He's played really well today, Debo.
and again, it kind of shows the man management of Potter. He couldn't really get the best out of these kind of players. You can see that Nuno's kind of put his arm around him and said, look, like, you're going to be starting every week. I don't know if you saw the comments from Vladimir Sufal that he's done recently talking about Potter's man management. And he's a player that was loved by West Ham fans. And he said that when he got told he wasn't staying at the club, it was a 30-second conversation, and yeah,
I
look, you're
did see
done.
that.
See it, yeah. I don't know. Potter was a weird one. I think he talked a good game, but couldn't really back it up. But yeah, look, I think we need a striker. I think as good as Callum Wilson can be, given his injuries, he can't play, loads of games in a row. But who's going to pay 40, 50 million for a striker in January? No one, are they? So look, I think we need a proper forward man, but we ain't going to get that. So I think we're just going to have to try and stay up, try and just solidify our place in the Prem, and then try and rebuild next summer.
Yeah, Chuck, your boys got an away win, 4 goals scored.
Yeah, I mean, did you boys watch the game?
The first half was just, just like a 2 calamitous scenes. Second half, I thought you played well. You could see the quality shone through a bit, but that first half was a joke. Both teams were just all over the place.
Like, it was one of the worst half of football I think I've ever watched.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly.
I think I messaged you and said I don't want to watch Man United games anymore. And it's just like, they can't. Like, I just was like, what the hell is going on? They don't know how to pass the ball to each other.
Both teams are just giving it away, falling over, all over the place.
Yeah, but
that Bruno goal was just like the Wolves' defence. Bruno's fallen over. Who was it that played the ball? Cunha's played it behind him. Then the Wolves' defence all over. It's just a circus goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think the manager's starting to feel the pressure. You see, he brought on Mainu, which has been completely against his policy. He needs to. I guess he knows he needs to quiet the noise down, because if the fans turn on you, then there's no. I've already turned on him, but if the rest of them turn on you, then there's no turning it. There's no real rowing it back. So good to see that he at least brought him on. I just think that we don't look good. I don't think that we won yesterday, but we should beat Wolves. But if you watch the first half, if you're the board, you've got to be looking at that and thinking, this is not a good manager. You got
and he's been there long enough now, where he's has to have some kind of even if we say he's stuck to his system, whatever. But cool. But then you must be able to coach these players into your system somehow.
A lot as well.
You can't still be performing like this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't be performing like this against Wolves. You can't. And I know we came back and it's 4-1, and it looks like you can gloss it up, but we were terrible in the first half. In the first half, I almost didn't watch the second half. I was going to go to bed because I thought it was going to be a draw. I did say draw before because that's how we play. And then sometimes we just kind of click into gear, but we're much better in the second half.
This is the thing, because you do have a few players with quality, so you're always going to little moments to play. Like the Mason Mount goal was really nice. It's a really well taken goal. But because he has a bit of quality, Bruno's got a bit of quality. But as a whole, as a unit, it's still not there, and that's got to come from the manager. It has to.
It comes from the manager. You can't there's enough good players that Man United should be in the top 5, top 6. In terms of, if you go through the players, that they should be in that position. So if they're not, then you've got to look at the manager.
Good players. There's still a lot of dross there as well.
Yeah, but there's not in terms of the top level players, they're some of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
Fernandes is making the most chances for this horrible Man United team in the league.
Chuck, what do you think of? I mentioned earlier about England players wanting to kind of step up and play well. What do you think of Mason Mount at the moment? Do you think he's working his way into the England squad?
He's way off. Yeah. He looks good in moments, and you see the quality, but he can't pass the ball to his teammates majority of the time. In the first half, the amount of times he was passing it to the Wolves players, I just can't. I love Mason Mount. I think that he's a good player to have in a squad. Actually, if you're going to a tournament, I think he is a good player to have, but not how he's playing now. I'm talking about Mason Mount from 3 years ago. I just
think there are so many better options that we've got as well.
No, I agree. No, I just thought I'd ask because I see he scored a couple of goals, and I think he's a quality player, but I think he's had long injuries. He's probably not played consistently enough. But I just thought I'd ask the question because you're starting to see a lot of English players kind of make that step up and want to solidify their place in the England squad. So
I think he's got absolutely no chance. He's unless he goes on a crazy run, but I wouldn't take him, and I'm a Man United fan.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
On another note, Rob Edwards came out and said that his team played like a bunch of schoolboys, and I've got absolutely zero sympathy for him. So
yeah, I think he's gonna. I would say he's gonna get sacked in March.
He's going to be able to spend a lot more time with his children. Let's put it that way.
Well, he's bought his rope, and all he's got to do is hang himself with it now.
That's it. I don't feel any sympathy. You should have had a look at that squad before he took the job.
I reckon he'll be gone by March.
Yeah, well, we've got them next week, so I'm hoping we put a bit of a pummeling on them.
But I can't even say the grass is greener because everyone knows that the grass wasn't greener with Wolves, man. But it's
No.
silly.
No.
Did you see the Newcastle Burnley game?
Yeah, 2-1 Newcastle. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say yet again that Gordon scored again. I know it's a penalty, but he scored again.
he's scoring penalties.
I don't
Get
know,
one from
man.
open play, man.
What are you talking about for England?
Charlie doesn't want, like, he says he doesn't have enough end product.
I don't think he scores or assists enough. He's all right. He flashes. When I see him coming through at Everton, I was really excited about him. I thought he was going to be a really good player. I don't think he's kicked on.
Well, if we're talking about Mount the way we're talking, I think Gordon applies to that as well. He has moments. He has a couple of games where he does stuff. But and I'm not saying, okay, yeah, he scores penalties and that's great. And I'm not trying to put him down for that. But yeah, I don't think he does enough, in my opinion.
My personal view is that he doesn't do enough. I'm just needling Charlie a bit, but I think that he's perfect for the England for the way England want to play. I think he's quick and he stretches the play and he looks good for me when he looks good in the England system. And I've had enough of putting the best players in. I think you've got to play the players who are going to play best within a system.
I'd have him in the squad, but I think Rashford starts over him all day. Every
Rashford's not even getting in the Barca team at the moment.
He doesn't need to. He's the more we need. If we're playing Kane, we need runners, and Rashford's going to run him behind. I just Rashford better than.
I'd also rather go for Rashford, but I'm just saying that I think Gordon goes as his backup.
I think Watkins goes
I'd have him in the squad
as a backup. I know he hasn't been playing great this season, but if we're talking about players that can get in behind and stretch the team, I think Watkins has been there, done it for England. So
we're talking about from the left. Sorry, Kai.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it's Rashford all day then, isn't it? I think, I don't think Gordon does enough, in my opinion.
Tottenham got a win against Brentford.
Yeah,
it was a great goal by
Don't care.
Pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, it's a great goal. Is it Simmons? Is it Simons?
Yeah, got a goal and assist. Maybe he's coming on. Like I think he's good. I think it's the physicality of the Premier League, and it's whether he can get used to that level and get used to playing. But I think that was the first game I've seen him, and I thought he looked good.
Yeah, no, he needed that, and they needed to win at home as well, because we were talking about it before. You can't just keep sending the home fans away, unhappy, because they were, I think, starting to turn on Frank a little bit. They've got Slavia Prague, I think, this week in the Champions League, so maybe they can get a bit of momentum as well. Yeah, good win for them. Everton, another really good win, 3-0. I was looking at the league table and you can't believe how high they are. It's crazy in this league. You win a couple of games and you jump straight up there. Palace and Everton have both snuck their way into the sort of top 8 of the league.
Yeah, I think I've seen the Everton goals. What's that? Barry got his first goal.
Yeah.
Well, just on, I know we're gonna keep touching on it, so we should warn everyone that is Dewsbury Hall worth a look for England?
He's a good player. He is a good player. I just think again, there's a lot of players in that position. You sort of like we're talking about Wharton and Anderson in his position, aren't you?
I just think he's looked really good this year.
He has looked really good. He has. I didn't even really consider it, to be fair, but he has.
Neither did I until I was like, oh, he's scoring again.
Yeah. No, he's tidy. I just think I think Wharton's really, really good, and I think Anderson's top level as well. So maybe just a bit.
He's got 4 goals and 2 assists for Everton.
Yeah. No, he's a good player.
Well, seeing as we're talking about players for the England squad, Jack Grealish. I mean, he's in that kind of free role at the moment. What do we make of him in a minute?
But I think of the two of them, if you're looking at who's driving the Everton team forward, it's actually Dewsbury Hall. I think that Grealish is the name, and I think Grealish is the better player, but I think that Dewsbury Hall is the player who's actually, for Everton, putting in a shift.
Yeah, I think Grealish is looking like he's enjoying his football again. You want him to do a bit more still. But he's never been a prolific goal scorer or even assister. Yeah, he's good, but at the minute I'd say Rashford, and if we're talking from the left, Gordon are probably ahead of him for England.
Any other stuff from the games over the weekend?
City, straightforward win. Ruben Diaz scored an absolute bullet.
It reminded me of Vincent Kompany. It wasn't the same, but do you know what I mean? That was the last time it kind of brought back memories.
Yeah. That was a good victory for them. Obviously, but against a team who have been doing bits against big teams, they were probably
they really brushed them aside.
Yeah, and they were probably a lot more up for it because we lost the early kickoff as well, which was even more gutting from Arsenal because as I said, we could have laid down a marker. But yeah, they looked good, but they have they have looked good in certain games like that, and then in others haven't. Chelsea again, another team like that, 0-0. They were in the title race a couple of weeks ago. They are bang out of it now.
Yeah, it's
As
just
I
their
said, they will be.
inexperience, isn't it? I told you they haven't got the kind of maturity and the squad to kind of put that really good run together. I think they've been really good this year. I just think we're going to see a lot more results like that coming up from Chelsea, where they'll go and beat a team, they'll look really good, or beat a team that they probably shouldn't, and then they'll go and drop points against a lesser team.
Well,
Yeah.
Liam Delap unfortunately got injured. He's out, I think, for 2 months. I think at the beginning of the season I was talking about maybe he could make a run if he has a good season. Doesn't look like he's getting on the plane.
No, I don't think he's ready anyway. To be honest, they spent a lot of money on him, and he could come good in the future. Obviously, he's a young player, but I don't think he's ready right now. And this is the problem with Chelsea. I think a lot of their players aren't ready. As I said it before, I think they've got 3 really really good players in Cole Palmer, Caicedo, and Reece James, and the rest. There's potential there, but it's not like Chalobah. He's good. Liam Delap could be good. João Pedro's all right on his day, but there's a lot of inconsistency. Cucurella, I don't
And
think
even
is
Reece
great.
James is made of spaghetti hoops, isn't he? So like
This
he's
is the
quality,
thing, but
but
he's
again,
he's a great player,
yeah.
and if he can stay fit, that'll be really good for England as well. Because I really do think he's top level. But
I think he's the best right back in the world when he's fit.
he's got it all. He's got it all. I think Timber's got a shout for that if you want to go there.
I think that Timber, like, if we want to like just have that, if you want, I think that Timber's not as good going forward.
No, I'm just like, there's Hakimi as well. There's a lot. He's in the
Conversation.
Definitely in the conversation. Yeah, I think the only one we haven't covered. Another good win for Palace away from home. They're up there. I think they're 5th in the league now. Yeah.
Did you see the pass by Walton?
Yeah, he's a joke.
Also, I don't know about you. I feel like whenever I see Harry Wilson score, it's always like a banger.
It's always like a
Puskas contender. Like first time finish, unbelievable. Yeah, mate, that was an unbelievable
only
strike.
bangers.
What a goal!
It's only
true,
bangers.
He only scores bangers, mate. He doesn't ever just do like a normal goal. Like every time I see him pop up, I'm like, yeah, that's a good goal.
That was filthy. That goal, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a really good goal.
Yeah, but Mark Gay getting the winner.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to go to Liverpool?
Probably. They've probably already done the groundwork.
Yeah, I don't. We won't see him at Palace. Obviously, he was meant to go.
Well, I think he's going to stay at. I think he's going to stay at Palace for the rest of the season.
For the season, I think. Yeah.
But are we saying he's going to Liverpool? Are we saying that's a done deal?
I think they've probably already done the groundwork. They've probably already agreed a contract. Maybe if they had calamity and didn't qualify for the Champions League, and then somebody else comes in from maybe Man City or someone I don't know, then it could potentially. But I'm sure they're probably ahead of the queue because it was pretty much a done deal, wasn't it? In summer.
Well, the rumors are that it's Liverpool to lose, but that Madrid and City are also interested in. So
Madrid's a weird one.
Well, no, Madrid's centre backs are all injured and getting old, and like they love to take someone from a team for free as well.
Yeah. That's their whole business plan, isn't it?
Yeah, their new MO is good player on a free.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see him go there.
But he'll definitely be at one of the big boys anyway, playing Champions League football. And he deserves it, man. He's quality.
Yeah. But away from the Premier League, did you see the Millwall scrap? The players.
No.
Was it? Have you not seen it?
No, I've not seen it.
They played. I think it was Bristol City.
Have
a look at it. They're full time. They're all the coaching staff and the players just all had a massive scrap. I don't know what it was about, but mate, I thought
I've not seen it.
No,
I saw they won the game. I know they're third in the league, aren't they? They're going for it this year. But
have a look at it on YouTube. They Sky Sports posted it as well, but that was a bit crazy.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. So what are you thinking about your Champions League games this week, Char? What are you?
Well, I mean, we got Arsenal, we got Club Brugge away from home. I'm just hoping he rests some players, man, because this is like I love Mikel Arteta. You know I do. I love him. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about him. My only gripe sometimes is he just overplays players. He doesn't trust some of the squad players. It's like we've got such a good squad. You got to start. Because we've got players are dropping like flies, and they're just playing too much football. They're playing too much football. Over a line, it's like playing them for one extra game too much. So just to take this, we've got Club Brugge and then Wolves, and then the tough games start coming again. Not saying that Club Brugge away isn't a tough game because they've beaten some good teams at home, but we're top of the Champions League table. We haven't conceded a goal. We've already qualified. We would love to finish top, of course, but as long as you're in that top 8, it doesn't really matter where you finish. So we should be able to beat them even with with a few changes anyway. You got to start playing. We've bought Christian Norgard. I haven't seen him. This is a perfect game to put him in and rest Declan Rice or rest Zubimendi. Play Ethan Wanyeri, you know. Just start mixing it up
Rice
a little
looked
bit because
absolutely
these
knackered
players
against
need.
Villa. I thought he was. Yeah.
This is the thing that they're dead on their feet come the end of the games and they're putting in such a shift. They just need a week or so, especially Declan Rice. I think him, Timber, the two most that need a rest. Timber, it's a bit more difficult because we've got so many injuries in defence. We've lost Calafiori now as well. He's suspended for the Wolves game.
I think you've got to rest Rice. I'd be shocked to see Rice.
It has to be rested.
It's a nothing game if you qualify. Yeah, of course you want to finish top, but
and then even Wolves on the weekend. Look, I know it's the Premier League and there's nothing's ever done, but we're at home to Wolves on the weekend, so you can make a few changes.
I know nothing's
ever
guaranteed, but you know,
that's as guaranteed as it gets.
Wolves are horrible.
No,
they're horrible.
So this is a week where we can hopefully rest some legs and get some players, some of the injured players back into the squad, man, because the games are going to come thick and fast again, and we've got a lot of tougher games coming up. But yeah, I'm confident. I mean, we're through anyway, so we should beat Bruges, but not.
You're not definitely in the top 8, are you?
Yeah. We're the only team that's qualified.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Oh, perfect. Then yeah, the rest of your players for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we want to finish as high up as possible just to keep the run going, and we haven't conceded a goal in our 5 games either in the Champions League, which is brilliant. But it's not the most important thing. Just getting players re-energized for the Premier League games coming up, and we've got that Carabao Cup semi-final coming up wedged in there as well. So the games are coming super fast for us. So we need everyone fit and ready for it. But yeah, there's some other big games. I think Liverpool playing in Milan against Inter. With tough game for them.
Yeah, Chelsea are playing Slavia Prague. Or is it Tottenham? Tottenham are playing. Chelsea are playing Atalanta.
And Man City got Real Madrid.
Yeah, so I'll be tuning into Man City, Real Madrid. And then I guess we'll talk later in the week, boys.
Yeah, we'll do a preview for the weekend's games. Not much going on in the boxing world really to cover today, so I think we'll call it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool, man.
Nice one. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you later.
Yo.
I haven't seen it, you know.
I haven't seen it.